you have this. Make sure you close the barrette, because otherwise it's going to be a pain later. So then you go back to your other pentagon, and you cut a new piece of string, about half arm's length. Cut it, thread it through one of the points, put on 2 beads, thread it through the point. I know you don't want to watch this again, but there's no way for me to time lapse it, so put on 2 beads, thread it through the point. I know, it's sometimes hard to see because my camera's so off-center, it's like not even funny. 2 beads, thread it through the point, two beads, thread it through the point, last 2 beads, thread it through your same beginning point. So you have that, tie it off. Make sure it's tight. Oops. Tie it like 2 or 3 times though, so that it's not a pain later. Alright. Cut off the excess. And again, snowflake. Straighten out all your beads. Okay. So now you take your ribbon, cut arm's length, and you do the same thing you did when you were tying on your barrette with this ribbon. Thread it through the middle circle, not the outside things. I know it's hard to see, and I know I'm really bad at explaining things, but there we go. So it's coming out like that. You tie a knot. Or double knot, doesn't really matter. And then decide how long you want your tassel and cut it. I'm gonna say I want mine about inch long. So there's my first tassel. So then I go back through the same spot, the place where the same knot is, and I tie on another piece of ribbon. Now you only need 3 tassels, so. And then you align your ribbons so that your short one is aligned with your long one, and you cut it where the ends are even. And then you put it again through the same spot. And then tie it, double knot it, align it with the other 2 tassels, or one of the other 2 tassels, and cut it. You can add more tassels if you want, but I'm not going to. And then you've got like this little bunch of knots there that really quickly, before anything happens, you want to take a clear nail polish, scrape it on the sides so it doesn't drip anywhere, and you want to cover those knots in it, because otherwise they will come undone and they'll be a pain later. And you also want to put some on the ends of the ribbon you cut so they won't fray. Okay, so that's your tassels. Here comes the super confusing part. Now, you take your multi, and you take yet another piece of string. Again, arm's length, cut it. Here's how it turns into the fez. Now you can take your bottom or your top, doesn't really matter. I'm going to start off with my bottom. And you see one of these side beads here? You want to thread your string through that side bead. Then you're going to take your multi and you're going to take one of the beads at the top of one of the 4 rows, the ones that are like 4 up. You're going to thread that string through that very same short string through the same one. So it looks like that. I know it's kind of hard to see. And then you want to take the short string you just threaded through again. Oops, hang on, I put it on upside down. Yeah, you want it so that the barrette part is upside down. Sorry. Thread it through one of these beads. And then you take the same short string, once you do some rearranging, and you can hold it in place with one hand and kind of weave with the other. Okay, so, oh, are you kidding me? It fell out. Bear with me. I'm kind of really bad at this. So you have, so that it's weaved like that. I know it's really, really hard to see. But if you watch Cellular Mango's tutorial on how to make the candy top hat, you'll know what I'm talking about. Then you kind of hold it in place. You take your short string and you thread it through one of the other side beads on your barrette or tassel half. Pull it sort of tight. Then you thread it through another one of the sticking up beads on the multi. If it wraps around, it's pretty bad, so go back and redo it. Then back into one of the side beads of the barrette or tassel half. Pull it out. Sometimes it's a real pain and doesn't like to stay, so make sure you're kind of pulling it tight after every one. Then you put it through another one of the sticking up beads. Only one though. I accidentally threaded it through 2. And then another one of the side beads. No, go back. Then another one of the multi beads. And another side bead. Make sure you're only threading it through the multi beads that are sticking up, like in the rows of 4. Multi, side, multi, side. It's kind of like lacing a corset or a shoe. And then multi. And that goes like all the way around for this. I know it's really annoying, but you get used to it. And if the thread doesn't like to go through, it's pretty stupid. So then you thread it back through the multi, go through, and then a side bead, if it'll be nice and listen to me and do as I say. No! What I hate is when it doesn't go through. And then again with this, the multi. And again through a side bead. And then again through your last side bead. Oops. I mean, not through your last side bead. Yeah, I was right. Through your last side bead. And pull it tight. And tie it off like you would any other object. Like any other normal knot. No. Okay. And then cut off the excess. And you do the same to the top part. And then you put some clear nail polish on your knots and you're done.